Hello, YouTube. Oh, this is a pretty ironic moment. I was just in the process of leaving a comment on one of Valley Metro's own videos about how the lack of frequency on some bus routes is a real problem, what with their own self-reported increase in ridership. And I just saw me miss a bus that's going to result in me sitting for 30 minutes. So I just got off the 29. I just got off of that stop right there. I'm not sure what street this is because the street sign is missing. Come on, City of Phoenix, replace the missing street signs. But yeah, that stop right there, it's the only one in between I-17 and 27th Avenue. And it's generally the most convenient, that's the bus I just got off, by the way. It's generally the most convenient, it's definitely the most convenient stop to get off at if you're transferring to the Route 27 North. Kind of learned that the hard way. The stop that the audio prompts tell you, and that the screen tells you to get off at for 27th Avenue and for transfer to Route 27 is actually, if not a greater distance, a nearly equal distance away from 27th Avenue on the other side because of the tracks that you can see that are on the other side of Grand Avenue. On the other side of 27th Avenue, Grand Avenue is actually going over the top of me right here. The stop isn't actually on, the stop that they say is for 27th Avenue. Like, see that one there for the bus is leaving at, for the eastbound Route 29. It's nice and tight against 27th Avenue. But the one up past is, normally I do this little shortcut walkway to the bus stop, but yeah, that's pointless right now. Because anyway, right as I got off the bus, right before I started shooting video, I saw the 27 go north, which, assuming that it's running on schedule, which it probably isn't, but yeah, that's only an every 30-minute bus, so I got 30 minutes to wait. Saving 30 seconds going down that path across the gravel isn't going to help anything. Anyway, yeah, so the bus stop that's listed for 27th Avenue, you see this is a pretty quick walk over to here. The bus stop that's listed for 27th Avenue is actually quite a substantial distance past the intersection, and it's on the other side of a train crossing, and then of course you've got to try to cross the 27th Avenue, which is quite the strode here, at a six-way light. So yeah, not a very functional stop if you're trying to transfer to the northbound 27 here. And I would imagine statistically the bulk of the people getting off the westbound 27 that are doing the westbound 29 that are doing a transfer to the 27, I would assume the bulk majority of those people are transferring to go northbound, not southbound. And hey, I'm going to offer solutions. It's one thing to be constantly bitching about the transit system, which is something I do, but I feel like my criticism would be a lot more constructive if I offered solutions. And I think the solution here is pretty freaking simple. The solution here is to put a bus shelter and a bus stop right here where I'm standing. Will it block the right turn lane? It most certainly will. And what should drivers do about that? They should fucking stop and wait behind the bus. Simple as that. Yeah, in fact, there really shouldn't be that much car traffic turning right from this stretch of 27th Avenue to, or this stretch of Thomas to that stretch of 27th Avenue. Because if you're going down Thomas for any point north of Indian School, it makes more sense to just get on I-17 and go on up to Indian School than to come here to 27th Avenue. It's interesting that they get a right turn arrow there. So yeah, no, to me the solution is just simply to put a bus shelter and a bus stop right here and take it one step further. And since this is obviously some kind of a government easement, simply put a walkway, an actual path. I mean, there's a walkway here because people are walking, but this is what you would consider a desire path. This is a path that is just formed by people's desire to walk this way. But an actual proper cement, usable by somebody in a wheelchair or scooter path connecting a bus stop right there with this bus stop right here would allow for a much better transfer from Route 29 westbound. Oh, there's another 29 eastbound. Yeah, the 29 runs all the time. Great frequency on the 29. Unfortunately, the 27 doesn't match it. It doesn't even come close, in spite of the fact that the 27 has a lot of pedestrian and bus traffic on it. But yeah, just a path coming here to this stop. This stop would be extremely helpful with that. So as I was saying, when I got off the bus, I looked forward and I saw a 27 headed northbound. And to be fair, like trying to coordinate with the 29 is the 27, the transfers with the 27 and then 29 is not really practical, because as you can see, the 29 runs super frequently. Like when I got off the bus, there was a 29 like literally directly in front of us, and that's a separate problem. The buses that are supposed to be spaced every 10 or 15 minutes apart, that are in reality a minute apart because one of them is falling behind schedule and the other's on schedule and they can't maintain schedule. That's a separate problem. It requires a separate solution. But as you saw there, since I started this video, there was an eastbound Route 29 bus, and there was another eastbound Route 29 bus. So yeah, that's frequent. Obviously the solution is to increase the frequency on Route 27, which I did. That's actually what I was commenting on their YouTube channel, although I seem to be getting more attention with them on Twitter, so maybe me being on Twitter will work to be a catalyst of putting the issues with public transit in front of the people that actually need to see it, more so than what I've been doing here on YouTube. So anyway, I've got the Valley Metro Transit app open on Shitty Obama phone number 1, and it shows the next northbound one being at 4:09. So it's 3:50. I didn't say the time and date. It's 3:55 p.m. Totally forgot to do that. Friday, April 29th, 2022. And yeah, it shows the next bus being at 4:09. So I'm looking at 14 minutes of waiting, and I've shot almost 8 minutes of video. So, oh look, there goes another 29. So again, I mean, since that would be the third 29 that has gone by since the 27 north went by, and we still got 14 minutes until there's another 27 north. So yeah, obviously the 27 needs its frequency stepped up. So what I was doing, as I said, as I mentioned, I had hang on, I should click on this and see that it's actually running. Oh, it is. Where is it at? The app does not work well in this phone resolution, so I got to zoom in the tiny bit of window it leaves me. Zoom out to see where it is. It looks like it's around Lincoln Street-ish, so it's not too terribly far off from me. It might actually show up sooner than it's predicting. And I'm seeing that happening more and more often, where the time that it says it's going to show up, it used to be a really reliable thing in the Valley Metro app, and not as much anymore. Like there was one this morning that I had, and I haven't even really talked about my morning ride today because I was so tired I didn't shoot any video. But yeah, my morning ride this morning, my early morning ride, the one that starts at about 4 a.m. at 27th Avenue and Bethany Home Road, that ride to home was thanks to the app and the fact I'm able to get more information through the app and through knowing how to read between the lines on the app. And what I mean by read between the lines is how to infer through certain things that buses that say they're running actually aren't running, and how to recognize that. Because I did encounter 2 different canceled buses. One that I was planning on taking, one that I was looking at an option to take, and then realized, oh no, this isn't an option because it's canceled. Hey, it looks like he's having a bad day, but he's got the right idea, standing here in the shade. It's pretty hot out today. The shade helps. Anyway, yeah, the bus shelters don't offer adequate shade when it's a swarm out. And it's only the end of April. It's about to get a whole lot hotter out here. Hopefully I get my car and this nightmare can end. Because, yeah, transit is really freaking inadequate here in Phoenix. For the good time of year, to say nothing for the time of year when people regularly die from heat stroke and dehydration. So, although it's partially on me, I got a Mountain Dew and I'm not drinking it, and I should be making a little more effort to stay hydrated. I hope y'all can hear me. Underneath here, it's an extremely loud Strode. Just noticing the remnants of the Burger King there. You can still see the sign frames where the Burger King used to be, and the parking lot and the foundation from it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. I don't see for sale signs there, so I'm assuming that either ADOT or the city of Phoenix has just gone ahead and taken over that easement and decided that it's just not a commercially viable pad for fast food or anything else. Hey, look, there's an actual Phoenix PD. Somebody commented on my tweet about the. I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I might have. Yeah. So, in response, I'm kind of enjoying Twitter. I really am. So, in response to a tweet that somebody had done in a thread that was about basically about public transit and about light rail tracks and light rail tracks needing to have a physical barrier to stop cars from being able to travel on the tracks when they're not supposed to. It's kind of random. Like I just saw that in my Twitter feed, like right after I had shot a vlog, which was on Friday. Or sorry, not Friday. It is Friday. It was on Wednesday, which for some reason feels like my Friday. My week is screwed. Yeah, it was like when I saw that tweet, it was like right after I had done the vlog where I was walking over to CVS. Damn, that's loud. Where I was walking over to CVS in hopes I could get a micro USB cable for a reasonable price. And then I encountered somebody, a white SUV with Utah plates, driving on the light rail tracks. It was crazy. Like I saw that, and somebody had tweeted that yeah, this is what's needed to stop it, and then some big city in Canada, I forget which one. I want to see Toronto, but it might not be. So don't quote me on this. But at any rate, they just mentioned that this is what's needed to keep cars off of light rail tracks, but that blah blah blah. Canadian City won't do it for fear they might damage that it might damage passenger car vehicles, and I was just like, whoa! I just shot video of somebody driving on the light rail track in downtown Phoenix. So I edited that video down and just responded to that tweet with, yeah, Phoenix won't do it either. Check out this video of somebody driving down the light rail track through a light rail station and nearly having a head-on collision with a train. Really odd. You know, it's kind of neat that I'm shooting video all the time, because if it wasn't for me, like, who would have caught video of that, right? I mean, I'm sure there's surveillance cameras in the area, but nobody's monitoring that shit, looking for interesting videos of people nearly causing accidents with trains in very public spaces. So anyway, Valley Metro picked that up and ran with it, and it's got a lot of views and a lot of hits through Valley Metro. And some people rightfully pointed out that, hey, let's, not even blaming the driver. For somebody who's from out of town and that person had Utah plates, a lot of the marking isn't very obvious, because there are places where There are places where tracks, light rail tracks are in streets, and people drive on those streets over the top of the tracks. I just left Portland, and that's the way a lot of downtown Portland is, and it's not a problem. Of course, in those areas, the trains are always going the same direction as the cars, which is not what's happening on First Avenue in Phoenix right now. So that's a problem. That's why it was nearly a head-on collision between that car and the train. Somebody pointed out, it's not a, wholly standard thing of, hey, never drive where the tracks are, never drive in the lane where the track is. And in some areas it's not very clearly signed. Now, I can't think of that spot in particular. I want to believe that there is good signage at the beginning of the bit of light rail track where I saw that car in, but I did notice in my video, which is all pretty much shot at the intersection of Washington and First Avenue, most of which I'm facing southbound, and I kind of walk across Washington Street, trying to keep the car as it drives, in the frame as it drives through the light rail station there by the old courthouse. I definitely notice in that particular intersection, there isn't much in the way of signage to tell people not to drive there. And it does look like a lane. It is wide enough to accommodate a car. And and maybe that's maybe that's the flaw, But at this point, we've already got our trains and they're already the width of cars, so maybe somebody should have thought of that. Thought of that before making it the way it is. Of course, my preference, throwing my personal preference in there, and I realize it's not always a feasible thing, but my preference is to not have trains and cars on the same streets or in the same places. I feel the city really fucked up when they initially put in the rail system, and missed a golden opportunity. Instead of splitting the rails where Washington and Jefferson split over near about 26th Street, instead of splitting the train tracks where one is going east on where one is going east on Jefferson Street and one is going west on Washington Street, I think the city missed a golden opportunity to eliminate some one-way streets, which that alone confuses a lot of drivers. I feel the city missed a golden opportunity to put the tracks on one of those streets and then to put the vehicular thoroughfare on the other one. And as far as which would have been better, that's a crapshoot. That's a crapshoot. I can think of good ways it could have been implemented either way. I think it would have been easier, for the way people navigate to keep all vehicular traffic and make Washington into a two-way street, and then put the trains down on Jefferson. And obviously there's businesses on Jefferson that need vehicular access, and I think it would have made sense to just turn Jefferson into completely disconnect Jefferson from Washington over there by 26th Street, and have both train tracks jump over in that direction. It's too late to do it now. It would be cost prohibitive to. There goes yet another 29. Still no 27 yet. Obviously it would be really cost prohibitive to change it now. But God, why didn't somebody think of that, 12 years ago, 14, 15 years ago, when the planning was going on and when that was going in? Why didn't somebody think, hey, maybe we could solve multiple traffic problems instead of creating all new traffic problems on top of the already existing traffic problems? Why not let Jefferson Street be the side street it once upon a time used to be, and keep all that vehicular traffic on Washington Street, restore it to two-way traffic, and let it have, let it not be encumbered and having to deal with the extra complexity and potential accidents of having a train in the middle of it with a access lane on one side that most people can't seem to figure out what the hell it's for, and all these additional train tracks to get from the main lanes to the access lane on the left side of the track. Why not instead didn't we put those 2 train tracks in the middle with like 1 lane on each side and slow down the traffic on Jefferson, and then have Washington be a 2-way stroad without tracks? Like, to me, that would have been the perfect solution. And then, once we got into downtown Phoenix, could have eliminated, car traffic entirely on Jefferson and then had no train on Washington. I think it would have been a better thing. Anyway, here comes my bus. I need to, and again, it seems to be stopped. It's probably stopped at a stop down there. I feel like it's about a quarter mile away from me. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. As far as like issues with Route 27 and 29 and the definite need for more frequency on 27. Although the fact that I'm the only person at this stop waiting probably contradicts my assertion that there needs to be more frequency on the 27. But I tell you, most of the time I get on the 27, there's a lot of people on it. At any rate, the video I was responding to, and I'll try to link it in this video description. I'll try to. I hardly ever remember to do that shit when I say I'm going to, but I'll try to. Was just about, it was maybe about a 2-month-old video. 3-month-old video? 2-month-old video. February. It was talking about how much ridership has increased, and it was trying to focus more on light rail, but then it did say it was talking, bus and rail passengers. I do really hate how on public stuff from Valley Metro, how there's so much focus on light rail. It's like, oh, light rail, light rail, light rail. You all have one light rail route. You have many, many bus routes. Coverage needs to reflect that ratio. Service needs to reflect that ratio. When you have as many, when you have 50% as many light rail routes as you have bus routes, all right, maybe it's time to put the focus on light rail. But at this point, you really need to have your focus on buses, because you only have one light rail route, and it doesn't run as frequently as the buses do, and it doesn't cover anywhere near as much ground as the buses do. So don't forsake your buses in the name of, ooh, looky, we have light rail. Anyway, got to wrap this up. Here's my bus. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'm going to try to link that video, and y'all can just watch that for yourselves, and then try to find my comment in there. At the moment, it's the only comment on the video.